you work a lot with your own spiritual team and you work with others to connect to their psychic gifts and to connect to their spirit team. So, for the listeners that are interested in this, can you just tell us what is our spiritual team? Who makes up our spiritual team?
Oh my goodness, sure. Your spiritual team can encompass many spirits. I think it really depends on what you're here to do and kind of like your goals this lifetime. But from my experience, my team specifically are my spirit guides, the angels and the archangels. That really encompasses my entire team. I have a feeling that there must be a family member overseeing me, but we've never met this lifetime. It would be nice to know. But for the most part, it's my guides who help me and my guardian angels who definitely give me so many messages to reassure me, and the archangels who also come in, especially when I'm writing a book. They're kind of sitting here, I think, helping me with my word choice. But your team can really, I think for the most part, everybody, has spirit guides. They have these guardian angels that oversee them. And there could be all different types of light beings that are a part of your crew that I may not be aware of, right? It's just, I think it's case specific, but your team is beautiful. You chose them before you came here, and there's even a possibility that you've incarnated with your guide a few times before. My guide, when we first met, he said, "We're ball and chain." That's what he called me. And he was like, "We've done this so many times." And we've even had lifetimes together, and he's shown me that as well. So there's a possibility that you've had that with them, or it could be a completely new guide if you're learning newer lessons this lifetime and you're kind of compatible, or and they have the knowledge of what it is you're trying to learn. So they might be more suitable for you this lifetime as well. So yeah, it could be a new guide that your soul has yet to work with. But yes, you also have angels who you've selected. So the one thing I kind of want to emphasize here is that, there is free will on the other side, and that you get to choose who you want to help you. And yes, there is this big divine plan and you work out, all the details, but, on the other side, even your other side team takes a look at the blueprint to make sure that, everything is going to work for your highest good when you come here. So your guardian angels also are aware of your karma, of your hiccups, your strengths, your weaknesses, and they're there to help you as well. And to be honest, they're all here. Yes, they're helping, they're guiding, but they want to see your evolution because that's why you're here. You want to evolve, you want to learn through these experiences, and they want to help you get there. So they're always cheering you on during the great moments and the harder moments, but they see you as you truly are. They're not so much focused on the physical form. They see your inner light. They understand, what's underneath all of this, and they're directing you accordingly. So your team, again, is your guides who have been here before, who have incarnated as humans. So I always feel like they're amazingly suited to help you because they understand the pitfalls that we go through. They know what it's like to be angry. They know what it's like to feel injustice. They know what it's like to be, in love and, sad and frustrated. They know all of the human emotions. So they can help you in that way, as opposed to the angels who are amazing, but they have not incarnated as humans, right? They have a different type, they're a different type of species, but they're still here to help, and they can feel your emotions. They feel your pain when you're going through that. They feel your sadness, but they still have like this insight to help you kind of see above the illusion of this world and the illusion of your emotions as well that can distort, what you see. So you have this amazing team, and everybody does. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are on this planet. Every light being has it to guide them here.
Yes, I love that. And that definitely resonates with my understanding of how spirit guides and your spiritual team works as well. So, do you have any advice for anyone that maybe they want to connect to their spirit guide or to someone, one of their guardian angels? Do you have any advice that helped you be able to really strengthen that connection?
I do. Many people that reach out, they're like, "I want to meet my guide. I can't meet my guide. Why can't I meet my guide?" I hear this so many times and I get it. I'm like, I feel you. I understand because Can you imagine having somebody in your life who loves you unconditionally, who has seen you in many different lifetimes, but they've seen you since you've, been born here. They know all the problems, they know all the good stuff. It's an amazing partnership to have, and they're sticking with you through the long haul. So I understand the desire to connect to your spirit guides. So the first thing I always tell people is you need to believe that they're there. You have to believe it. I think a lot of people have doubt and you sabotage yourself through that doubt. You have to trust that they're there, even if you can't, see them or hear them initially, acknowledge their presence. And if you don't know their name, that's okay. Call them spirit guide. And sometimes you can give them a name. They're not offended. So I always tell people, first and foremost, sit down, acknowledge, and then communicate. Just start talking to them like I'm speaking to you, because they're right there, even if you can't feel them. Share anything that you want. It doesn't matter, but it's your responsibility to open the lines of communication with them. It's like they're just waiting. They're like, come on, get to it. But we have work to do. So just say hello. How are you? How's your day? Or what's on your mind, or what you think you need help with. And that's the first thing that you definitely need to do. Now, if you're not already practiced, if you don't, consistently like have a daily discipline where you meditate, or you're not in that stage yet where you haven't met them, the easiest way I tell people to meet their guide or communicate with their guide is through music. It's my favorite way of working with my guide. He sends me all kinds of crazy songs to help me out. But if you want to work with your guide, ask him or her a question. Ask them a question, and then I want you to specify to them that you want the response back via a song. So for me, when I go to bed at night, I'll talk to my guide about certain things, and then I'll ask him, a question and say, hey, what is your insight about XYZ? Let me know in the form of a song when I wake up. And so as I'm waking up, I don't realize that I've been singing a song for a little bit, and then it'll click and I'm like, crap. And I'll look at my phone immediately for just the lyrics. Like if there's a certain part of the song that repeats over and over, and that's all you need to look at. If you're hearing the whole song, then yes, look at the whole song's lyrics, but just look at the lyrics and they're giving you their insight. This is the easiest way, and they always do it. They're not going to tell you no. So if you want to begin to work with your spirit guide, this is the easiest way. You don't have to meditate when you do this, at all. You don't have to chant or do some, crazy pose. All you have to do is communicate and ask, and then be willing to receive the song. And, if you love music, then this is fantastic, because if you listen to all kinds of music, then they can give you messages about love. They can give you messages, I don't know, about empowerment. I mean, there's, this is a great way also to expand like your music repertoire so that they have more references for you. But I would say if that's if you want to begin to develop this relationship with your guide, first acknowledge them, believe that they're there, trust that they're there, be willing to take that risk, be willing to say, okay, maybe I actually don't know everything, about this planet. And it's okay to say that, because the more you know, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know anything. And that's really going on here, right? But yes, this is one avenue I always tell people, like, hey, if you can't see them, or you can't hear them, or you can't feel them, that's okay. They are going to give you a message via a song, and then thus the relationship starts to kick off.
Yes, yes, I love that. And I remember you saying that I want to say on one of your episodes, and so I tried it, and I wake up with a lot of songs playing in my head now. And so I'll go and I'll be like, okay, what part of the song am I specifically singing? And most of the time, like you said, it makes total sense for what's going on in my life, or what I've been thinking about, what kind of guidance I need. And it works every time, just like you said.
It really does. And, kind of a little bit of a sad story, but not really now. But years ago, I had no idea my boyfriend at the time was going to break up with me. Like when I'm telling you, none. And I kept waking up with this song about separation and me going my own way. And I was like, what's this? Right? I didn't know. And then sure enough, like a few weeks later, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I was like, is this a joke? Are you serious? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, that song just kept playing over and over. I had no idea that that was coming. So sometimes, really pay attention, even if you are walking or working throughout the day and you just start humming something, even if you haven't asked something, because once you initiate this form of communication, your guide's going to start letting you know things even throughout your day, or, kind of giving you a heads up before an event happens as well. So be very mindful and don't dismiss it. And if you don't have time to look it up in your phone, like write it down somewhere, just the lyrics or the song so that you can go back, because they're trying to help you as much as possible while you're here.
Yeah. It's music is such a big part of a lot of people's lives, but if you don't listen to music, this could be a quote or reference to a book or like a TV show or a character that you like. If those
Yes.
types of things just randomly pop in your mind, it's for a reason.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time when I work with them, before I realized that I had my spiritual abilities, before I realized I had clear audience and stuff like that, I just thought that they were my regular thoughts, because most of the
Mm.
time they are in my own voice. For me, I hear them in my own voice. Every now and then I can hear a different voice, but it wasn't until I started actually reading for other people in practice and I would get validation that I was like, oh, wow, like spirit is constantly sending us messages and we just
Yes.
disregard them.
Yes, we really do, because sometimes what we're receiving doesn't necessarily coincide with what we believe to be true or what sounds most logical or rational to us. So we have a tendency to kind of just dismiss it. But no, spirit's kind of like, listen, I'm trying to help you out, like I'm giving you some great, stuff right here for you to use. But we have a tendency to, I think, quickly dismiss.